Logged back in. Hello? Logged back in. Hello? Okay, now it sounds proper. Okay, now it sounds fantastic. Okay, so let's turn off my stream. Yeah, okay, wow. Good thing that I checked. Something really crazy going on with my mic there, apparently. Poorly connected wire or something. Sorry for the strange noises, alien noises there at the start of the stream, everybody. But now we're cooking with gas. Fantastic. So welcome, everybody. It's time for another fantastic groovy art stream with your pal Minsk. That's me. Hey, everybody. Let's get right away with... hold on. Which folder is this in? Oh, God, that's on that side. Yeah. Why was it on that side? Oh, God, now you saw that. I'm going to have to cut that out again from the freaking VOD. Hey, boy. Oh, well, that's fine. That's all good. What am I doing? Yeah, we're doing art. Let's kick off some music first to get us in the groove. From our favorite channel for music, Rainwave. With only a 50-50 chance of copyright strikes. So it goes. Nice, some Jake Kaufman right away. Oh, this is from Mighty Switch Force. Groovy. Fantastic stuff. Let's go. And with some luck, we will get some Hollow Knight music if this vote goes through. I hope so. It's the song I think it is. I will be very excited. I think I actually remember wrong which song that is, but it'll still be good because the soundtrack to Hollow Knight's great. So today we're doing another stream like I've done several times when it comes to artsy streams. The plan is to record 1 hour of me practicing, because it's good to get some practice in. Followed by us doing 1 hour of working on some art. Or just like, doodling if that is the case. If there's anyone watching at that point, feel free to drop some ideas for what I might draw in that final hour. If not, I have a piece of art I'm working on at the moment, actually, so if it's okay with everybody, I will probably work on that. It's something I haven't done on stream before, and I'll probably finish it off stream, but, it's quite an elaborate picture. I've certainly, gone big with this one. So, I'd like to put the time in to get some work on that picture, if possible. So, but first, of course, practice. Like I said, let's do some freaking practice. So, once again, I am at shutterstock.com, and... oh, well, this is actually pretty good. First of all, there's some pictures of fried tofu here. Could be a fun idea for, some still life, but I drew that bicycle last time I did one of these, so let's not do that now. Let's do a actual picture of a person. This is a royalty-free picture from Mix and Match Studio. It's a simple picture of a man... I think it's a man, standing in front of a green screen. He is in a white shirt, he's got a surgical mask on, and he's holding this cutout of a house. Kind of looks like some kind of Apple logo or something. That's good, because I like because there's a bunch of wrinkles in his shirt, so that's going to be good practice for those, I think. Drawing this body shape, if you feel me, everybody. Okay, let's get cracking. I've done this before, I'll just explain again. I don't know if I'm allowed to show Shutterstock pictures here on the screen, so I'm not going to be showing this picture to you guys. I'm not sure what the policy is. It says royalty-free, but you are supposed to, I don't know, you're, supposed to sign up to be able to use it. I'm a little unclear, so I don't feel exactly safe or just showing the picture itself, because I'm not sure if that's cool. I don't think me using a picture that's freely available online as a model and then just drawing a model of that, and when I cite what the picture is from, I don't think that's a problem, so I'm okay doing that. First, let's just open up this picture. Oh, and also I want to show one thing real quick before I start drawing this. I realized that I should probably have a repository for my pictures, not just these streams, because these aren't the most useful place to look at a complete piece of art, obviously. These are more of a kind of a fun little thing to do with the artist, namely me. So I have created a DeviantArt page. I had one years and years ago. There were a lot of like not so great memories attached to that, and I didn't feel like starting that all over. So now I've deep sixed that and started a whole new DeviantArt page. Kind of a fresh start. It's easy to remember because it's the same name as the Twitch channel. It's deviantart.com/yourpalminsk. Here you can go. I don't have every picture I've done yet up here, but I've gotten 5 pictures up now. I'm kind of like, I don't want to like just blitz it with pictures and then there'll be huge gaps in uploads when I have to actually put in work to finish pictures. So I've been kind of trickling pictures in here. You can see a couple of practice sketches I've done that I haven't done here on the stream right here. You can go check those out. I'll put pictures up here eventually, and also the stuff I work on that's not on stream, I will also put them here eventually. So, yeah, feel free, everybody, to go check that out to get a better picture, get a better look at my pictures that I've been drawing. They'll eventually end up there. Oh, I gotta really quick check what we're listening to now. Shatter. Never heard of that game, but it's a groovy song. I'm not gonna deny that. Let's get started with this picture, shall we? So, this is 600 by 420. By 420. There we go. You may have saw some strange values here for a picture. There, that was the picture I'm working on that I teased earlier, and yeah, it's a kind of an interesting picture in it with those dimensions, huh? Do we have anyone watching yet? Not yet, but the night is young. Hoping that someone might pop in and watch the show. If not, meh. At least I will get some work done with practice here. Now let's get started with the dude's picture. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, this part always, the fear of a blank page, this part always like makes me be a little anxious, but I will persevere. I have to. I'm on stream. Everybody has to watch me. His head is about here. Something like that. Wow, he's got quite a thick neck. I'm not used to... weird. Probably because I look at too much anime-inspired art where everyone has like real dingle-dangle necks. But he's got a big thick one, this person in this. In fact, it's quite straight though. It's not like a beefy guy. So those kind of shoulders, like those kind of spreading out necks aren't good. Lats, I think. Is that a muscle? Not really. What's going on there? Let's see. Shoulder is about, like from the neck down to, it's a little less than his head's width. So I think that's pretty good. Something like that, I'd say. Another, like, about his head's length. For the not the forearm, the rear arm? What is this part called? Upper arm, I guess. This one's quite a bit long, actually, here. Something like this, and then his hand is here. Wonder if I'm getting the proportions right here. I haven't actually been doing much practice, like, off-screen, which I really should be doing, I have to admit. Because I'll straight up admit that I don't find practice actually super fun. I feel like part of why I'm doing this on stream is I'm kind of like forcing myself a little bit to do this. Otherwise, I'm not sure if I would ever get any of this done. I should do this off-screen as well to keep up the practice, because you know what? The picture I've been working on, I feel like the anatomy isn't like the greatest at times with the images I've made. And, you know, the only way you learn anatomy is to do this, is like work on drawing a character like this. So I have been kind of shirking my duties on that front. Actually, it's like a little, kind of like this. Oh, clicked it. I got. If there's a way to remap these buttons, I gotta remap this button that's on the side of the Wacom. I guess it's just because how I hold the pen, but like I constantly click that button. That triggers it to do the color pick thing. Something like that. I think I got the shape. Kind of okay. That was very quick, actually. The basic shape right there. But then again, I've seen people do like these like pose practices. They are like part of it is some kind of like need to do it quick. I guess it's to like really quickly just kind of get the fundamentals of the shape. I'm gonna try and do a little bit of actual like sketching because I want to do the practice the creases on the shirt and whatnot. If you get my vibe, so we'll work on that too. Yeah, I'm not even lying. Like part of my motivation for like doing these art streams is that I could like force myself to do these practices more often. Since I hate to say it, but they're not super interesting to me. They're not super palatable. But I think they are kind of necessary if you want to like actually really improve in art, you know. In fact, I guess I could share an anecdote of kind of what originally inspired me with this whole idea anyway of like doing these kind of half and half streams. Kind of relates to I had that one anxiety-filled stream where I really laid bare my anxiety and worries about doing art and being creative. Wow, that was a kind of a heavy episode in hindsight. I don't know if I should have gone that hard. This one won't be that like grim. I'll try to at least keep it a little more jovial. But basically, like I felt like kind of spoken to one time when I was watching an episode of the Super Best Friends, a classic Let's Play channel on YouTube. I recommend you guys go watch. They've split up in 2018, 19, I think. Sadly, creative differences, unfortunately, but their legacy will remain. I thought they were a fantastic Let's Play channel. They were doing, Matt and Wooly were doing a playthrough of Mark Echo's Getting Up, which is... It's about, graffiti artists. You're playing a graffiti artist, like, who's, like, trying to, like, be creative in this big metropolitan place, while also fighting to liberate it from, like, the oppressive, calls it? Governing authority, I guess. And so, yeah, like art is a big theme in that game, since you get to like actually go around and do like, you know, tagging graffiti in this place. Matt and Wooly, they both have like a history in art school, I understand, because they were telling stories about their art school. Sorry, I gotta check the song again real quick. Oh, I'm not a big fan of this composer as a person, unfortunately, so I don't want to discuss this song any further. Sorry. I will say peace upon his self, I guess, for this man, but I'm not gonna go any further into that. So yeah, they were talking about kind of their history of their own time in art school, and particularly they were like laying bare their frustrations when like, I don't remember if it was Matt or Wooly or both of them. Was it both of them, but like, they like got like basically critiqued heavily by their like art teacher for like trying to do like this like anime style art, like, or comic book style art, because obviously in art school they try to teach you to do like still life and like practice like all these like techniques and everything. I think everyone kind of has an idea of how art school goes. So that's not exactly what like really like shook me. It was the dichotomy in comments, because that really like sparked some discussion in the comments that I remember really stuck to me. They were basically, because like Matt and Wooly, they were like basically opening up like how sucks that they wouldn't let us do the art we wanted to do. Okay, I might be kind of paraphrasing here wrongly, so I recommend you look up their Mark Echo series. It's a pretty good Let's Play. But I remember this being roughly the vibe, but that's actually not important because the comments on that episode were really, really like really spoke to me. There are basically two comment chains that really like got to me. The first one was some frustrated art student who basically opened up like, you guys are... He was being very acerbic and really like confrontational, I guess is the word. And he was basically being like, you guys, you need to practice your still lifes, damn it. Because that's the only way you learn to like, proper drawing. Because your art will suck if you don't do still lifes. Practice still lifes, practice shadow, like form, composure. If you don't do that, like your art will suck and it's gonna be terrible always. And like people tried to push back, like come on, man, it's not that big of a deal. Like you can still do art. And he was like, if you want to be good in art, you gotta practice your still lifes. Was like his. I remember that was like his catchphrase, like do those fucking still lifes. He was rather acerbic, like I said, and he was like I've seen so many like artists who just draw all this shitty anime stuff, cause and the art sucks because they won't put in the time to do like these like pose practices and still lifes and everything, and they're gonna always suck. Like if you don't want to suck, then like freaking work on this art. And I remember, oh yeah, the one thing was that like some people were like, well, you don't need to like, that's not like helpful to be that critical of these people and their art, dude. Like you can be nicer. And he was like, no, if you are like just compliment someone with bad art, that's just gonna make them complacent that they're gonna suck more. You gotta tell them how bad the art is, and then tell them to do that whole practice, okay? Because they'll never be better, okay? And I just, because I haven't, at that point in time, I was in an art slump, which I elaborated on in the previous stream that I did. I felt like kind of like really like, oh god, he's calling me out, because I hadn't really done like any of this kind of practice at the time. And I didn't like his talking style. And a lot of people also explained that, and he was like, do whatever, freaking... I'm tired of, like, playing nice when, like, that just, like, makes people complacent. You gotta call people out, okay? So whatever. You suck at the art if you want to, but I'm gonna call it out and stuff like that. But I think there was some kernel of truth in what he was saying, like what he was saying. But more on that in a second, because the other thing was the other conversation chain there that was going on as well, which was like the polar opposite of this conversation. And it was some person who was opening up about his own like experiences in art school, and this hand should be tilted up a little more, by the way. I just realized that's the problem. I mean, something was like a little wrong here. I see what's the problem is. This hand should be tilted up a little bit more, I think. So let's do that. I think that's closer to the image, the angle of the image. There we go. Yeah, I think I was looking at these two arms in their position. Something I was like, something is off here, and I realized it was this hand here. It was a little bit too like low tilted. Now it's more appropriate. Yeah, so this other person was talking about his experiences in art school, and he had basically a very similar time to Matt and Wooly, where his teacher had basically shat on his art because he had been drawing, I don't know what he had been drawing, something. I guess it had been similar, like some kind of anime-themed art. And he had really taken it badly, and I don't know if he got depressed, but he mentioned that he had kind of lost the motivation to do any art when he got called out like that, and he still felt really at the time of when he was posting this in the comment thread, in the comments of this video, he was still wasn't able to do art. And I remember there was this reply from some guy who was I'm so sad to hear that you've lost your love for this art form, and he was I hope you can one day capture it again and do your art, and even if it's shitty Naruto OCs, I hope you can still find the joy of doing that art, dude. There was this kind of really that really that spoke to me again. That was really heartfelt, that person's kind of speech there. And what I found interesting in this discussion is I thought both of these two threads and the posts there had a point to them, right? So the super acerbic guy, I kind of, like I said, I don't like being that kind of aggressive, even if his point about you need to be honest with critique was a good point. So I tend to side a little bit more against that guy. I don't know what his problem was, but he was pretty grumpy about it. I don't want to speculate, actually. Who knows? It could just be that he didn't like the attitude of people who were taking art too slovenly, maybe. But I think he did have a point, of course, that I think if you want to really improve as an artist, you gotta do something like this. I remember one of the Penny Arcade artists put it much better. He basically said that his art teacher explained to him that even if you're not gonna draw realistic characters, you need to kind of know, you need to understand the what the basics, what real images are so you know how to change them and play with them and exaggerate them to make your more stylized comic-y art. That's the kind of more positive vibe reason for why you need to put the time in to do stuff like this. Less calling you out on your art. But that whole discussion about the Naruto OCs, I think that had a point too. This is, I mean, unless you're trying to do this for a living, which is a different case. If you're doing this as a hobby, then first and foremost, you should be able to have fun doing this thing. And in that case, what the hell does it matter how good you are, or are you putting in the time to do things properly, or what? As long as you're enjoying your craft, then what's the big freaking deal, you know? What's the problem? So I think that was really good. But I think, of course, when I picture myself here, I, of course, at the time I was also in a big slump. I'd say I'm struggling to rekindle my passion here a little bit. I wanted to be able to do this for fun, to draw stuff like I had done years and years ago. But I would like to improve as an artist, so that's why I took both of these people to heart. And I was I need to sometimes do this, but I also need to be able to just enjoy the process of drawing, you know? Even if freaking my art isn't great yet, it isn't at the perfect state yet, I still need to be able to just draw sometimes. It can't be just practice with still life. If my passion is drawing video game characters and funny fantasy stuff, you gotta be able to do that sometimes, you know? So, that's kind of my motivation for these streams I'm doing, is to get a little bit of both, and because I'm self-admitted that I am not excited about doing this practice stuff, basically, if I'm performing for you guys as an artist here, that kind of forces me to put in the work and do this, which I might not want to normally do. Like I said, I want to do this because I want to want to improve my craft as an artist, but I'm lazy, and I don't know, entitled. I don't know if I'm entitled. Maybe I am. But like, it's hard for me to motivate myself to do something that isn't like super fun. But if I don't do this, then I'm gonna be bad at trying to do the actual art that I want to think is fun. So it's a work you gotta put in, This is kind of a rambling story, but there you go. Like, that's kind of my motivation for doing these practice streams and like the actual fun, like drawing stuff streams. This one should be taller, this doorway on this thing. Oh, I forgot to put the text. I'm sorry, everybody. Let me quickly put this. Oh no, I closed the thing. I was supposed to write who the original picture's from. This is a little embarrassing. Like, I should at least do that courtesy. My goodness. I'm sorry, original photographer. Okay. Let me just look this up again, and I'll write it here. Yeah, I still, like, I found it really fascinating, that story I just told you. Like, back in the day when I saw those two comments, because they were so, like, night and day with their theme. But I thought they both had something valuable to take from them, those comments. About, like, kind of your work ethic, and also, like, food for thought about why are you doing art, and are you deriving actual pleasure from it. And myself, I am working still to somehow achieve a point where I enjoy this. I mean, I do enjoy this, but like sometimes, like I'm so like insecure and anxiety-ridden that it's very easy for me to go to, no, but I'm so terrible at this though, and it's no. So like, I'm trying to find a way to like be too happy with my own art that I do, like really happy, and often I am actually. Like often I'm like, hey, this picture turned out great. Might change my mind in like a couple of months if I look back on it, but at least in that moment I'm like, wow, I actually did a good job here, thank goodness. I'm still really happy with that picture of Nancy DeFore that I did a little while ago. Nancy from Valkyria Chronicles, yeah, like I'm really happy with that picture still. Like, I thought I got the exact vibe that I wanted from my fan art in that, so far I haven't gone back and hated that yet. So this is let's see, original. Ooh, change the color. Original art. I don't know. Let's make something more legible. Looks fancy, but it's a little too wacky. Original art by. You have to make this smaller too. Original art by Mix and Match Studio. Mix and Match Studio on Shutterstock.com. There we go. I should always have this here, It's a nice thing to do if I'm drawing art like this, to at least give this acknowledgement. There we go. Now we can continue. Have there been any comments here yet? Nope. That's fine, that's fine. What is this jammer? It's from a game called Oz. Never heard of that. Fascinating. Interesting, there's some Mega Man... Oh no, Mega Man 7, not Mega Man X7. My bad. I was about to say, like, I'm not familiar with the soundtrack to X7. I know its reputation as a game, but I'm not familiar with the soundtrack, if that's any good. No, that's not true. I know the second to last boss music, the first phase of Sigma. That's a pretty good song in Mega Man X7. Our Blood Boils. It's a very good song. But this is Mega Man 7 that's being voted for now. And yep, that's a pretty good soundtrack. Let's see if it wins. It's got 3 votes, so it's gonna win. We're gonna get the opening stage of Mega Man 7 in just a second. I hope you guys look forward to it. I really like it. Let's carry. Sorry, I was taking a drink of water there. Let's carry on with this here. I want to do a little bit more of these. Oh no! That's right. I had text too wrong. I keep doing a little bit more of this. Like I said, these whole wrinkles on the clothes I kind of want to put in there. Also, this is... There we go, X7. Sorry, no, again, Mega Man 7. Oh, God damn it. Great game, great game. I've never actually beaten it. The infamous Wily final form is really damn hard. Apparently, though, I've seen later, you can apparently mash out of his attacks, because his attacks stun lock you and do tons of damage, but apparently you can mash out of them early. I believe that's the case. I don't think I knew that back when I fought him. I just thought you had to sit there and take his attack for ages and lose tons of health. So, maybe I could beat Mega Man 7 if I went for another round, knowing now that you can do that. By the way, so I got mainly his shape correctly, but something went wrong with the hand and shoulder, because there's a lot more of the shoulder visible here. I guess his hand is a little bit more up here. Oh well. You win some, you lose some. Otherwise, I think I did okay with this guy. That took about half an hour, so I think we have time to, like, ink this dude a little bit. Also, I think I got his eyes a little bit wrong. Like, they're pretty narrow in this picture. I think it's a little wide-eyed in the version I ended up doing. Like, I think they're even narrower than here. I probably should have used a thinner, God damn it, it's changed the color. That's why it's not doing anything. A thinner brush size. Smaller brush size, not thinner. Smaller brush size, I think, to get those eyes right. Yeah. Let's save this real quick. Oh, no, I showed up. We're fucking pod. Okay, well, that didn't show anything to you, but that's just where I have my pictures. Pictures from podcast art. Oh, that's not too bad. Oh boy. Wow, I really have to take it. It's been a month and a half since I did the bicycle picture. That's the last time I did these. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just stopped to look at some of these pictures I've done back in the day. I was like, oh wow, I did do a lot of practice pictures. That's fine, that's fine. This is some Pokemon music right now. It's the rival battle from Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, hard choice. Oh, but it's out of my hands. It's about to switch. Can I still vote? Oh no, I didn't vote. Oh man, it wasn't even the one, either of the ones that was available that won, or that was I was hoping for. There was a song from Daisuke Ishiwatari from Hardcore Uprising, and then there was a Yuzo Koshiro song from Wangan Midnight Tune. But instead, this King of Fighters song won. Oh well. Hey, gotta get something new, eh? We'll listen to this and it'll be fine, I'm sure. Oh yeah. Some nice hero music here. Yeah, I haven't really played King of Fighters, but I definitely listened to a bunch of soundtracks. It seems to have pretty good music most of the time, yeah? I made this realization that I'm not crazy with fighting games where you have more than one character to deal with. And this is like, maybe that makes me a scrub or whatever. I got nothing but respect for the people who do like that and are able to jam with that. All respect to those guys. But I kind of, when I played Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, I realized that's not what I was really enjoying, was me trying to understand how to play with two characters at the same time, while the other person just like dominated me with their mastery of the two characters. Not that I don't get dominated in fighting games anyway, because I'm pretty bad at them, but like, even when I'm like being really beaten hard by a guy, I don't know, it just feels less awful than in like when it felt in Marvel vs. Capcom, when I just felt completely helpless while this guy styled on me with his two characters. And I realize that the characters in those kind of games are simpler, so that there is less to learn with a character. Although I guess Tekken's not like that, but that's because Tekken's Tekken. The tag tournament. I wouldn't be surprised if even Tekken Tag Tournament, while having tons of moves, is probably more simple than the other single character Tekkens. I wouldn't be surprised by that. I'll move his eye a little bit more to the forward because he's looking right at the camera, so I'm going to move that eye, iris a little bit more to the side there. I kind of fixed his eyes here compared to my sketches. His eyes are still really narrow though, so I don't know, but it kind of works for me. Let's get this working here. So King of Fighters, I realize, is not a tag game. You pick your roster of 3 characters, and those are kind of like your rounds, is going through each of them. So I realize that's a different jam, but that's still like the thought of learning 3 separate characters is kind of like what's stopping me from jumping in on that series, which is too bad because there's some great character designs there. I kind of... Okay, well, let's say I might take a look at King of Fighters 15 once that releases. You know, why the heck not? It's probably a good jumping on point, maybe? I don't know. Actually, I don't know all about King of Fighters 15. They've been releasing character trailers, though, I think. But, be more like that. I feel like I've made his surgical mask a little too thick. I don't know. There we go. There's some good light and shadow practice coming there. You can see like the light's coming from the left in this picture, so there's a little bit more shadow on the mask here. Like he's still well lit from the forward part, but like you can tell he is being lit favoring the left side of this image. So good practice there on making sure that that's how the shadows work here as well. I think that looks pretty good, if I say so myself, and I just did admit earlier that it's very hard for me to say anything good about my work, but here we go. I'm trying to be positive here, everybody. There we go. What's our next song? Lovely Planet wins again. This has been a couple of times now, I swear, on our playlist. I've definitely heard this song before, Lovely Village. I wonder what a Lovely Planet is. I'm gonna have to look into that at some point. I'm pretty sure I've heard even this song at some point. Is anyone watching us yet? Any comments? Nope. Nothing to say about my ramblings? That's fine. I can keep rambling by my lonesome. I'm not crazy at all. Yeah, but am I gonna be able to apply anything I've learned here today when making the actual art of my own? I don't know. We'll see, maybe. There's a couple of male characters in the image I'm making now, so maybe this will come up a little bit. I don't know. I really wanted to get specific. There's kind of like a little window here, and you can see his thumb a little bit through it. Don't think I realized that super well. But I think I got the gist of his hand there. But this one annoys me a little bit that I got the shoulder a little bit wrong, like the positioning is a little off there. But like, as just an image, it's not terrible. But of course, since I was going for like pose practice here, it's a little unfortunate that I didn't quite get it correctly. Oh well. This is a great picture though for pose practice though. The fact that he's like, you know, it's just a guy with a background and he's doing a funny pose and he's got like a white shirt on, which makes it perfect for crease practice. I guess the only problem I'd say is that there isn't that many crinkles in his shirt, but I guess that teaches you subtlety. Because if I was like free drawing a picture of a person and I was like, oh, I gotta put some crinkles there for his shirt, I'd just be like all over trying to give the illusion of it being a good picture with proper creasing of the clothes. Ooh, what is this jammer? Oh, is this the Atelier song that I voted for? I wonder. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's Atelier Iris Eternal Mana. This is Alchemic Blast. So, I'm glad to hear that there was already like groovy music in Atelier way back with Atelier Iris, which I think is a fairly old installment in the series. I don't know how old, but I think it's before Atelier Rorona, which is the one that I played. It is a good song though, I like it! Hi 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 hi. Hi 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 hi. There we go. Put a little bit of there, like that. I think we've got the hand shape okay there. Oh, we can kind of see his thumb here, that's right. Put that there as well. I don't know if his thumb, like, distance here is correct, I'm not sure. I think I made his fingers a little too, yeah. Here I'm gonna cheat a little bit again. Actually, no, I want to free transform it, don't I? Something like that. Oh yeah. Guess what? Freaking Goshina. No, not Goshina. I'm sorry. This was Yuzo Koshiro's song. 1. It's Street of Rage 2 with Go Straight. Sorry, the next vote has Goshina available, but I am going to vote for a Halo song instead. Damn, this is a classic song, of course, from Streets of Rage 2, or Bare Knuckle 2, as in Japan it was known. My friend actually has this on vinyl. Was it 2? I think he has one of the Streets of Rage soundtracks on vinyl. Crazy dude. I don't think he even has a vinyl player. Then again, I own a couple of vinyls that I bought at a flea market, and I don't have a vinyl player yet, but I was like, hey, it's kinda cool to have vinyl. They say vinyl just sounds better than other forms of like audio compression and recording. I haven't listened to a vinyl since I was a little kid, so I have no frame of reference. I have no clue, actually. It hasn't really come up for me. I wonder if I could get like a cheap vinyl player and get something to listen to. Wow, I just realized I've been doing this line art with the with the pencil rather than a pen. Fine. This once we're gonna commit to that then, wow. Or at least, at some point I accidentally did it. What would this look like if I did this? This is with the ink. Honestly, the shading still looks kind of fine. I think at some point I was using the ink, but then at some point I accidentally switched to the pencil tool. I think that happened right around when I finished this resizing the hand. I think that's what happened. Now that I look at it, a lot of this looks like it's been done by pen rather than pencil. We'll just clean up these lines a little. decent. Not a great house, but what else? Man, this song's good. Freaking Yuzo Kojiro, man. I can't believe, like, that guy is amazing. I don't get it how they're so good. Definitely not even underrated. I never listened to him too much back in the day, or then. I don't know if Yuzo Kojiro is a man or a woman. I'm not sure. There we go, Martin O'Donnell with Rock Anthem for Saving the World. There's a Miku Hatsune song available for a vote. I wonder if I'll get copyright struck if a Miku song plays here on the channel. Let's give it a vote just in case. Although I think, because there's a request here as well from Front Mission, I think that's going to win instead. But just for shits and gigs, I'm going to vote for the Miku song to see how it goes. I'm freaking Miku, Miku, Wii U. I'm freaking Miku, Miku, Wii U. I think this picture's starting to be complete here. I think we're about done here, I'd say. Yeah, I don't hate this picture. I'm happy with it. I think it came out okay. Proportions aren't too bad, I don't think. Maybe it should have been a little shorter, bro. I don't know. I think his hem should have ended here, because there's like a white border here at the bottom of the picture due to the Shutterstock thing, and then like... It should be like compressed. Maybe if we move it up like this. I think that'll get a little better. There we go. I think that works a little better. And I think this part should be moved a little bit. Do these creases here. Oh, creasy over here. This is the Front Mission song now, huh? It is, yeah. Miku did not win, but that's fine. Oh no, another tough choice for me. A great song by Ryo Hamamoto from Ace Combat Assault Horizon, or freaking Teddy Bear's Mafia Free Playland and Casino from Sam & Max. I'm gonna vote for Sam & Max right now. Shall Defend, I remember being a pretty good song, but not the best song on the Assault Horizon soundtrack. So we'll let that, like, sink for now. Because I would really like to hear, if it's the one I think it is, it's really funny. I think I can sing some of the words. Let's see if we can... see if I can pull off a little bit of the song when it starts playing. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can do this. Nomefia, oh baby. Oh, this is the instrumental version. There's a version with lyrics for this, which I probably should have just committed to and kept singing, but at least I got the beginning right. We're just regular businessmen, just you and me and Teddy Bear. What mafia, please? No mafia here. I don't remember how the lyrics go, but it sounds like that. It's a really dumb song, because the casino is very obviously run by the mob, and the song's just like, there's no mobsters here, it's all good. Yeah! Alright, let's save this picture. Let's take that out and save this picture. Okay, yeah. Hey, good job, me. Thanks, me. Great picture. We are gonna take a customary, like 10-minute break. I'll be back at the 7 o'clock sharp. Well, that's 5 o'clock British summer time. But, you know, in like 8 minutes or so, I'll be back. So, everyone, feel free to take a quick break, get something to drink, use the lavatory, and I will catch you all in a moment. So let's just do this real quick. Well, that's way too thick. Let's... What the fuck am I doing now? Teddy bear. Alright, I'll leave you with this smooth jazz and go get a little bit of something to drink myself. Catch you all in a second. Bye-bye! And here we go again, everybody. Back from break. Get rid of that. Oh, hold on. Yeah. That's what the finished picture looks like without the guiding lines below. I feel like I could have done a little bit more here to shape this part, but it's really blank in the picture I have. There isn't a ton of, like, creases on here. Like, a little bit, like, ooh, this is pretty thick. A little bit, like, just a little bit here. Going along here. There seems to be, like, a seam going along. A very thin seam going along here. I think there's a little bit of shadows on that side, but that's about the best I can do. Groovy song here. What is this? Ratchet deadlocked. Alright then. Spooky. Alright, well, now we're done. Like I said, now we're done with practice for the day. Now let's get to some fun doodling. Do we have any viewers here in chat at the moment who would like to give ideas on what to draw? Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, I can't take any audience suggestions on what to draw today. Not at the moment, anyway. Probably not, because I can't really, once I get working, can't really start change pictures if I'm already committed, but that's fine. Let's save that. And let's pick up. So if you guys are okay, instead of starting a whole new picture, I'd like to keep working on a picture that I have been working on for a while now. It's kind of an elaborate picture, so it's really been taking me a while to finish this picture, so I'd like to continue it on stream. I probably will also continue it off stream, so you'll just have to eventually see the finished picture on the DeviantArt page that I previously linked, which... let me just share it real quickly again. DeviantArt.com/yourpalminsk. Feel free to come over here and look at my art that I've been working on. I'm not going to put these practices there, because these are just practice photos. These are for practice. I don't really want to do those. So, but the actual art that I do myself, I think I'll do that. Like, you know, actual projects I come up with. I'll put those eventually on there. So let's load up the thing I've been working on now. This is fan art of a virtual YouTuber, or a VTuber as they're known. So if you're the kind of guy who breaks out in a rash when the topic of VTubers is broached, you'll want to like stop watching for today. But if you're cool with working on those concepts, then let's freaking go, everybody, and let's pull up the picture I've been working on. Here we go. So this is a very elaborate picture, or it's gonna be one, I hope. I'll explain. There are 8 characters in this photo, and I'll run down from the top so you guys can get an idea of what's going on here. So up here on top, where I've done a basic shape, there's what appears to be a hot dog fall guy here, and underneath is, you can already tell kind of from the very basic shape that this is, of course, an Onion Knight from Dark Souls. The rest of the characters up until the last one are generic, but you'll still probably, if you know VTubers, you'll know who this is fan art of from these characters and what we have coming up here. So let's keep scrolling down. We have another, like, little fellow here, and some dude sitting here. This guy's got a shield. That's supposed to be a crossbow. That's what it's gonna become. Then we get to the ones where I've finished the sketch art for. We have another knight here with a kind of crusader helmet and a lance. The half moon, not even half moon, the crescent moon shield there. Not a great shield, I suppose, because of the shape, but I kind of like it, so we'll let it be like that. We have this big berserker dude here, Kind of looks like a great sword that he's carrying there. Maybe a little Berserky or Dark Soulsy once again. In fact, I looked up the great sword from Dark Souls as a reference for this sword right here, so yeah. Underneath we have another like big old knight. He's got a fun little... looks like a candy cane and a moon on his shield. That's kind of fun. And if we keep scrolling down, we get to the final character. Hey, it is Luna Himemori of the 4th generation of Hololive. That's who this is fan art of. Yay. I'm really happy with this pose I've gotten for her here, doing this really assertive gunbuster pose. I'm really happy with it. So for those who aren't super familiar with the VTubers... Oh, I should probably move that, actually. I just realized. These are not supposed to be this close to each other. These are little diamond buttons. That's the wrong color. If people aren't super familiar with VTubers, what's going on in this silly picture is... so Luna Himemori is like this candy-themed princess character. And her fan base are called the Lunites, and they're like characterized as a band of knights, you know, allied with their princess, basically. So there's a game called Pico Park, which a lot of Japanese streamers are playing, which is like this social group game, and Luna Himemori plays it as well, and very often there's like a lobby you can run around in with the Pico Park little characters. The other Lunites that are playing will try to stack on top of Ms. Himemori to build like this big giant tower of characters. Especially when she like goes AFK for a while and there's like free reign to just stand on her. So I thought it'd be a fun idea of fan art to like, because they're like these like little tiny, hard to tell characters in that game, like just little weird pixel goobers. I thought it'd be a fun image of like kind of silly and also really exciting if I like drew this like actual tower of various knights standing on top of Ms. Himemori. So that's what we're working on here. So, I've gotten 4 characters done, the princess herself. We have a couple of these knights going. We still got 4 characters to do, so I'm halfway done. So this guy is going to be a crossbowman and an arbalestier, if you will. And I've been kind of putting this off, but I'm a little worried about how I'm going to do this picture. Originally, I was going to have him like sit with one leg hanging down here and the other over here. I think I'm going to have to like... Let's actually flip this guiding part here. What am I doing? I'm an idiot. I think what I'm actually going to do is that this guy's leg kind of comes over the chest of this knight a little bit. So let's do this, and there should be a... invert selected there. Come on. No? No? Oh no, that inverts the selection. I see. So what's the invert selection? How do I do that? Is it up here? Flip horizontal. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why is it like that? Well, nothing else moves, so I guess we'll be happy with that. But, yeah, okay. So, that's what I'm gonna work on for the last hour today, is work on the sketching of the final group of knights here. Maybe if I'm really fast. I doubt it, though, because these guys take a while and get to the inking phase. And the final picture will eventually go on my DeviantArt page, so that's where you can get to see that. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to work on this. Who knows? It's going to maybe take me a while to finish this, so I might work on this more on the here on the channel. But for now, we're at least going to do this today, so you guys can see how this goes. So, okay, let's pull up a picture of a crossbowman. I've got the idea of the helmet. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's like this wide-brimmed helmet. I need a little bit of help with the actual tunic of a crossbowman as well. Did Heroes of Might and Magic have a crossbowman as a unit? I think it did. It's called a marksman, right, okay. These blurry pictures aren't great for working out what I want the armor to be like, so I don't know. Let's instead look up some old Warhammer miniatures. I think I had a guy like this once. No old-ass Empire crossbowman pictures here, unfortunately. Well, this is kind of getting there, because I'm looking for that tunic that I want them to have. Here's a miniature. It's not from Warhammer, but it's some miniature. This hat I want them to have, and I kind of want them to have this tunic, this guy here. But, we'll think. I've been trying to make all the other characters like their faces masked so that they're faceless. Except for the Fall Guy, but, you know, that's a Fall Guy. So I'm gonna give this guy, even though he's gonna have the crossbowman helmet, what I want to do is I'm gonna give him like a kind of an eye slit thing and a chainmail coif hanging down. That's what I'm gonna cover his face up. That's kind of my idea there. Because I kind of want like the the princess to be the only character identifiable in this image, and also I guess to kind of like make it so that you can like imagine yourself. If you are a Lunite, you can imagine yourself as one of these brave knights on this free for all pile on top of the princess here. I guess that's kind of why I'm going. But anyway, I thought like they had to all be faceless basically, or faces covered. These characters. So let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna have a weird spot. I'm gonna start with the belt first. And let's give him actually. I really, now that I see that, I like that he's got that quiver basket there. So I'm gonna just do that. You know what? Let's. This is a little silly, but the picture's supposed to be silly. Let's make them star-shaped quivers instead of arrow-shaped. To go with the princess's kind of... She's got candy and kind of a moon or night thing going on. I've tried to put, like, half-moons or crescent moons in a bunch of places on the, like, nights. I was kind of wondering, what could I do to, like, make this guy... make this guy kind of, like, stick out as a Lunite specifically. Let's give him... these dumb-looking star arrows or star bolts to sell that space or night theme, night more than space, really. And so his tunic is kind of getting folded here. Means his, oops, changed color again. His leg is coming, no. Coming out here. I'm gonna have to remove some of the details on this Crusader here, sad to say, but so it goes. It's too bad, because I thought I did a pretty good job drawing the breastplate on this Crusader here, but, it's just how it gotta go. Oh no, that boot should be way longer, right? Draw another buckle there. Nothing's more medieval than a buckle, right? his leg should be a little bit longer, like that, I feel like. Okay. No, the angle looks weird. Hold on. Ooh, this is some kind of Sonic song, isn't it? I don't know why I'm having such trouble drawing this leg here now. This is some song from the Sonic Mania, isn't it? Sorry, I'm getting a little engrossed here because I'm trying to get this clothes right. Let's have a look quick. What song? Oh, it's actually Sonic and Knuckles. My bad. I thought it was from Sonic Mania, but oh well. I guess that shows how good my Sonic lore is. All good. All good. Oh, actually, now a really good song from Ryo Hamamoto from Assault Horizons coming up. Keep Alive. I'm gonna vote for that, even though it looks like a different song's gonna win from Castlevania Curse of Darkness. I don't remember which Castlevania that is. Sorry. But we'll go with that anyway. Okay, that shape actually looks kind of okay. We'll go with that for now. I want this Crusader's shroud to be a little bit like transparent, so I'm gonna put like some guiding lights here, but they're gonna be like really dim, you know, if you catch my vibe. So do it like that. Ooh. Remove that nice little filigree I did on that breastplate, but it's gotta go. So it goes. And the color changed again. This coat there, I guess. Let's do it like that, I guess. Not reaching any further down here either, so we'll do it like that. Now I guess the hard part I'm a little bit dreading here is how to draw a guy holding a crossbow. Draw like this. A little bit more bend, I'd say, so that gripping the handle of the crossbow. And I'm a little worried about the crossbow as well, because I've never drawn one, I have to admit. I wanted to like have a variety of like different kinds of knights. You know, so I really felt like I had to have like one crossbow guy in there, and also it's just a chance to like draw like a fun crossbow guy helmet, you know. Crossbow guy, Birds of Prey. That was such a dumb joke, but I really liked it in Birds of Prey. I'll put another buckle there. This guy is really into buckles, this guy. I feel like I did a pretty good job with that, like, this part, but I feel like I should tilt the hand a little bit more. I think that's not the right... I don't think that's how the hand would go there. In fact, I think... Yeah, hold on. So the hand's kind of coming from there, so I think it would have to be like this. Maybe I drew his hand a little too big here. What's the meme, like, yaoi hands or something? So let's shrink it down a little bit, but I think this is more like the right angle. This would be like here. So let's draw this buckle now here. Let's fix this buckle a little bit. Should I be drawing? Maybe I should just draw the freaking crossbow here real quick first, and then see how the finger should be wrapping around it. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, this is obviously the Castlevania song now, which is a pretty good song, actually. I quite like it. It'll be kind of a huge arbalest, actually, which is fine. It's fine. An arbalest is an extra big crossbow. Like, more brutal than the original crossbows that they made. This crossbow's gonna cover up his nice belt buckle, though. Goes like that sometimes, I guess. So I kind of want him to have... It's kind of like checker pattern. Like thingy here. I think this one's gonna be... Ooh, some SimCity 4, huh? Let's go. Good, always good music in SimCity. Not gonna disparage that at all. So this one, I kind of want his whole... This sleeve to actually be entirely chainmail, which is... Chainmail is very hard to draw. I tried to do it with this Crusader here as well. I don't know how to really properly draw chainmail. So I'm just gonna do like this kind of... Do like this kind of pattern. Who knows what it's a chainmail, scale mail, I don't know, but do like this kind of pattern here. I feel like I drew his this arm part of his arm too long. That looks a little... That looks pretty good, I'd say. Oop. Let's just fix his arm there a little bit. But you know, I kind of screwed up with this. I wanted him to, like, his top body to be, like, really kind of tilted, honestly. So I feel like I failed on that front. I feel like it should be way more hidden behind his chest, this part. Kind of like, you know. Also, I gotta fix this because I kind of changed the angle there when I tilted the hands. I should probably look up a picture of a crossbow really soon so sooner rather than later so I don't, like, screw this up. I see what the problem is. This leg looks really short, actually. That's where I'm screwing this up. Like, this thigh is way too short. So... Damn, this SimCity music is good. Let's, Now I don't feel so great about erasing all that parts from the Crusader beneath, actually. Should have saved this until I was sure that the size of this crossbow guy was good. But yeah, I just realized this like thigh was way too short there for that purposes of that image. No, I see. I can't just do this here because then his like upper body is way too like up there. I could actually move this part a little further here. I just can't get like this angle to look good. That like it's like actually kind of like the hand is coming forwards a little bit. Unless I do like. That kind of looks a little bit more like it, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it super well. Okay, well now I gotta fix this freaking Crusader here. Because idiot that I am, I like erased that part. I had it down pretty good last time too. Well, it's not too bad. I just gotta get this hand holding the lance is gonna be the tough part. I'm fairly confident I got the leg to be the right length now, so I'm gonna now do a little bit of erasing here. What is this bit here? Let's get rid of that just real quick. I don't know about that. Damn, this Oasis song is fantastic. I love it. So let's see now. Let's see, a hand holding a lance. I guess you don't have to see too much of it from there, but... this one's tough. Just realized there should be a little bit here as well. Look at this. This should definitely have a little bit there. What have I done here now? So I'm trying to like draw. This guy has a tunic underneath, or actually a guy. I don't know. Somehow I felt like this Crusader's a woman. I suppose all the knights here are rather agendered because they're covered up in armor. So I guess any one of them could be anyone really. It's still my kind of habit. Like I'm really used to using guy as a non-gendered term, but obviously it's not, and I don't get to decide that. So I should try to not use guy so often when describing a generic person. I'm sorry about that, everybody. No, like in my brain, guy is still like completely ungendered, but obviously for most people that's not how it goes. So I should fix my habits on that front. Hey, you've got some East 9 music here. Let's freaking go. Sounds good. Oh, man. Obviously, I haven't really seen anything of East 9 because I'm trying to keep myself really blind so I can play that someday. But obviously, you know, East music is always gonna be a winner. So here we go! Oh, the other hand. I'm gonna pull up a picture of a crossbow right now as well. And I'm gonna write down medieval crossbow, otherwise I'll get like sport bows from like modern day, which is like, nah, not exactly. Interesting, I kind of like these pictures. So here's some pictures of crossbows. I never thought about this, but I guess they do have like this thing. I'm gonna guess what the purpose of this loop here at the front is a lot of crossbows were loaded by you putting it down to the ground and bracing it with your foot while you pull this bow part back up. In fact, in Finnish, there's a couple of different names for a crossbow, but one is jalkajousi, which means foot bow, which is, you know, because you're loading it with the help of your foot. So I guess this loop here is to help you brace with your foot, like hold it down and pull it up. I'd never thought about that, but that makes a super lot of sense. Very cool. I think I made my crossbow a little too thick now that I look at this. It's kind of got like a shotgun stock here in the back. So it goes. Let's see if I can like now get another hand. Hands are hard. I don't know if you ever heard that. Certainly, I've never said that like 20 times on my streams. Keep making fingers way too thick. I know one of my problems. It's, you know, the guy is wearing a gloved hand, so like, kind of makes sense. But you know, not a ton of sense. A little bit of a buckle peeking there. So many buckles. Trying to do some foreshortening here. I think I am failing, but so it goes. Now let's get the miniature of the crossbowman again. Put that chainmail here, but I want like have like it has like a hanging bit covering the like rest of the face, so it's gonna be kind of a very unique looking chainmail thing. Is this more Yuzo Koshiro? It sounds like some Streets of Rage. What is this? The Speeder from Tobal 2, Takayuki Nakamura. I no idea what that is. Never heard of this. Well, could we get some Mute City to play here? Let's find out. Although it says For the Glory Mute City, so that's not going to be Big Blue, maybe? We'll hear it in a second. Yeah, I feel really bad. I'm sorry that I'm having bad vibes, but I really wanted this guy's I really wanted this guy's top of his body to be like really bent. I think that's the problem, like I was saying about like not enough practice with you know, what I was talking about. Not enough practice with poses and stuff. So I like failed this when I was setting this guy up. Like I could have. Tried to do it better earlier, but because I haven't practiced enough poses, I couldn't like get that. Like, I really wanted his body like really bent to the side, like his upper torso, and I feel like I failed on that front. Oh well. I can try to like do like these kind of little cheats, like this thing is like really foreshortened here, but like I don't know, it just looks kind of crummy. I was doing such a good job. Like I was kind of scared of that when I like do a project like this and there's so many characters. Like I was like, wow, these first two characters look really good. Am I gonna keep that streak up as I build my tower of people? Apparently I couldn't quite. Damn, this is a great song. Is this still? Yeah, this is For the Glory, Mute City. God damn. This is an amazing song. I gotta remember this. What a jam there. At least the music's good. So yeah, now that from that Mark Echo video comments that guy who is the super aggressive guy would right now be like, I warned you about fucking still life, dude, and practicing poses. Now you fucked up and this crossbow man looks terrible. And that's on you, you stupid dunderhead. Oh well. Well, let's see if I can at least get this guy's face to look cool. I kind of wanted him to like kind of be looking up. That's why he's put these guidelines here like this. So let's look up some crossbowman hat. I remember I got the when I did this. I got crossbowman helmet. So apparently crossbowmen also have helmets like this, but I'm looking for this right here. That's the one I want. That's what we're going for. Okay, well I kind of got the basic shape there, I think. So, let's see if I can do, like, I wanted to... No. I wanted, like, this kind of visor thing going on. Kind of like the Mole Man from Fantastic Four. If you guys know what that guy looks like, so... kind of like that going there. And this is like totally up to like, well, okay, I just mentioned Mole Man, so I guess that's kind of where I got the idea. But like as far as like designs for crossbowmen game, this is like totally my own like thinking, or maybe there's crossbow masks like this, but I just like this is what came to my mind is like this kind of design. Once again, I'm blowing it. Like, I want it to like really like shrink. How do I make it look like it's like really shrinking off there? Any ideas from the viewers? Come on. No viewers at the moment. That's too bad. Fuck! This is really upsetting me. This is really upsetting me that I'm bundling this crossbow guy so bad. I had this really good image in my mind of what this guy's mask would look like, and I don't. I don't think I succeeded on my mission. Let's see if I can get this chainmail mask I was at least making will work. Oh, yeah, baby. This might be my favorite song from Final Fantasy VI. Oh, right, that's what Tina means, because this was titled Tina here on Rainwave. I guess this is Terra's Japanese name? Is Tina? I'm not sure, but yeah, this is Terra's team, obviously. Beautiful. Well, I kind of got the shape right, but I'm a little disappointed. And I thought this idea for this guy's mask would be really freaking cool, and I'm not sure I nailed it as well as I could have. Let's make this like really like. Well, that's maybe a little bit too droopy. It's supposed to just like cover his face. Something like that, I guess, kind of waving, flapping around as he shifts on top of the Crusader underneath him. God damn, this is such a good song. I can't. Well, my mood was a little sour here, but at least this song is like really helping me get back into it. How's this guy looking at this point? Okay-ish, I'd say. Now that this guy's legs here, these kind of look like candy canes. What are they called? Lollipops. That's the word I'm looking for. Lollipops kind of here, or candy canes actually. They were just like random swirls I made. But now they kind of look like little either lollipops or candy canes. The little etchings on the breastplate. I kind of like that. Yeah. Yeah, zoomed out, I don't think this crossbow guy looks too terrible, so I guess we'll let it be. See if I can finish this crossbow still. That's too. I was hoping we'd get this guy done and like start the shield bearer today. Looking like time's running low, so it looks like I'm gonna have to continue this on my own once we're done and start the shield bearer. He's gonna be like, the gag is that he's like a tiny guy and he's like really struggling to hold up the final two dudes. It's kind of just like silly little joke, but I'll see if I can make it work. So this crossbow actually kind of like does this. There is the rope. Actually make this a little bit longer like that. Oh, this is actually, now that I'm zoomed out, this is actually kind of working a little better, this whole drawing for me. I actually like this a little bit more. Now, the rope is on the top side of the crossbow, so we'll remove it from there. And I guess I'll draw because I really like this whole leg bit here. I like it. Now, unfortunately, we can't really see the star shape of the crossbow there. I'm gonna zoom in for this one. Oh no! That was the wrong tool, definitely. Actually, I'm gonna do this whole bit again. Hold on now. So it kind of comes out from this. Yeah. Comes out from this hole here. Something like that, and then man, this song is a jammer. What is this? Puyo Puyo 20th anniversary. Puyo Puyo has songs this sick? Okay. Okay, I might like try to make like a little 3D grooves there once I start working on the inking, but we'll go with that for now. Oh, actually, might also benefit from being a little bit more. Wrong tool. Yeah, I'm not thrilled by the crossbow guy now. It didn't exactly match my expectations, but, you know, I think it's okay. And actually, zoomed out, I do kind of like his weird. I like his weird, like, flap. Face flap. I just feel like I fucked up his, like, eye shield thing, kind of. I don't know. Just had this weird vibe. And now I'm gonna be erasing a lot of it off, because I'm gonna start drawing the shield bearer's leg here, so that's how it goes. That's how it goes. I don't know, I don't hate this guy so much now that I look at this a little bit longer. I think I can live with this crossbow guy. Suikoden, nice. You like to play Suikoden. Well, let's get to work on... I'll start the shield bearer today. We got like 10 minutes more time. I'm gonna start with the thigh, actually. Hold on. I want him to actually... No, this should actually be... No creases here. This should actually be, like, proper armor. Something like that. So something like that there, and then crossbow's gotta stay there because crossbow is in the front, but draw like layered armor there. Something like that. How is this crossbow string going here now? So it's like... It's like here. Yeah. Oh man, I feel kind of bad that I'm doing so badly today, specifically when I'm streaming this like live for you guys. Like I wish some of these hype pictures I've been doing like here now, I wish I could have like gotten those. Like these other characters at the bottom I'm really happy with, but this one isn't exactly... isn't my best work, I don't feel like. I guess I'm kind of like managing. I kind of want him to have like a tabard going here. That's why I don't like making these weird bits here. damn, this one's Adventure Time music. Interesting. Oh, by Jake Kaufman, of course. It's a real jammer. Sick. So I want this guy to kind of have like... I want him to have a beak, if you guys know, like... that kind of suit of armor. I'm gonna have to look up a reference for this. Beak helmet. Let's see if that brings up the kind of thing I'm looking for. Kind of, yeah. Something like these. Like, I wanted to be really exaggerated, though, so closer to this than this. But that's what I'm going for. Something like that. Maybe a little bit too exaggerated, that one. Let's make it a little bit smaller. And then I want, I actually want this guy to have like a really nice plume, and maybe a little bit of a half moon shape, so that this guy has kind of the princess's theme going as well. If you catch my drift. Are these supposed to be like breathing holes? Because I don't see what the exact purpose of these are, but I guess it gets harsh to breathe inside a big old helmet like this otherwise. Okay, well that's not much of a half moon shape, but that's kind of what I'm going for with his brilliant like plumage here. I actually like that bit actually a lot, so I'm pretty happy with that. How that looks. Wow, this guy turned out really quickly actually, compared to the crossbowman, because I guess he's just a little simple figure, generic figure, so I didn't have to work too hard to get this thing to work. Goemon music playing right now. Okay. A little bit more checker pattern there, again, for a little bit of a... shape there. I was going to put the other foot visible there, I guess. It's really hard to tell, but he's got both his feet on top of this guy's shoulders, so... Sorry, I'm being a little quiet here, because I'm like really trying to focus, and now I realize I'm like kind of blowing this a little bit, this picture here. But I think I'm salvaging it. It remains to see once I start inking how this crossbow guy turns out, though. Up until I did the crossbow guy, everything was fine. Freaking birds of prey here. Well, I think he looks okay, but like I said, like if I had put practice in with poses, I could have gotten his shape of his body better earlier already, like a lot of like proportions and stuff, and I really, no one else to blame but myself. to get this an even thickness, this edge here. Is this Kingdom Hearts music? No, Disgaea 4. Interesting. It had some Kingdom Hearts vibes to it, you know? But it wasn't. Let's put a little sweat drops there and a little bit of squiggles here to be like, oh, he's struggling so hard. I'll think about the squiggles once I get into the art, like the line art again. But like, oh my god, this guy is so heavy. Oh, I'm having such trouble holding this guy up. You know, that's kind of the vibe I want to go for here. You might have to use like the line tool, the elliptical tool to like get the shield surface all nice once I start line arting, but sure. Put the crescent moon kind of shape here a little bit. And we'll do a couple of stars. No, I know how to draw. Do I know how to draw a star? I don't know. Apparently I really don't know how to draw stars. What the hell am I doing here? Well, there's a couple of stars there, so kind of sells the idea. What is this jammer? A certain magical... Oh! A certain magical virtual on, and it's Yuzo Koshiro again! Man, Rainwave just loves playing Yuzo Koshiro. But I had no idea Yuzo Koshiro made music for that. It's the crossover between Virtual On and Certain Magical Index. God damn. This is a jammer of a song. I'm like already in love with this. This song is called Lightning Pixie. Oh, I wonder if this is what Misaka pilots in the crossover. Is Pixie a name of the Virtual On robot? I don't remember. You'd think as the main lady of the magical series, she would have Fei Yen as her robot, which is kind of the main female lead of Virtual On. But I'm speculating, of course. I have no idea what this music, what it relates to in the game, but it's a jammer. Freaking Yuzo Koshiro. Unbelievable. I'm becoming such a big Yuzo mark. Alright. Sadly, it's time to close it for today. I don't want to go any longer. I'm probably going to work on this on my own later today, actually. Just get the Ziegmeyer here and the Fall Guy here. Oh, the Fall Guy's here because Luna Himemori plays a bunch of Fall Guys, and then there was a famous incident with Hot Dog Fall Guys. Her nemesis slash friends, I guess. So that's why I wanted to have a little Fall Guy with a silly little Viking helmet and an axe being one of the characters showing up here, but oops, no skew please. Let's review at 100% real quickly how this is turning out. Yeah. I like it quite a bit. The crossbow guy's starting to blend in. I kind of like him too. I'm not offended by him anymore. I'll put a couple of lines there. God damn, this song's good. Wow! Yuzo Kojiro, you made such a jammer for this game that, like, so few people cared about. I can't believe it. I can't believe how in love I am with this song. Virtual on. This night, I'm really happy with this first guy on top of the princess. I'm really happy I got this, like, classic knight look going on here. And of course the princess, like I said, like, I'm at least happy that I got her picture to look this good. Chest looks a little uneven with the ribbon, the way it's, like, on these sides. I'm not sure I did something wrong there. I don't know. But, like, overall, I'm really happy how I got this. And I love the kind of, I love the assertive energy coming out of her gunbuster pose here. Like, the whole idea is, like, this pile comes up to you and you're like, uh-oh, I'm not messing with the princess, so... I think that energy is coming out of this picture. I'm really pretty happy with it on that front, so... Zoomed out like this, the crossbow guy looks really good, actually. Okay, I probably should stop complaining about the crossbow guy so much now. Actually, it is turning out okay. So, I'm gonna work on the Onion Knight and Fall Guy on my own, and I'm gonna start inking this whole process, and maybe I will get this done off screen and you will get to see the final picture on my DeviantArt. So, look forward to that, everybody. But for now, I'm gonna call it for today. Thanks for watching, whether live or on demand on YouTube. It's all good, and I appreciate you dropping in. Catch you all in the future. Bye-bye!